Hello dear students, how are you? I welcome you once again in this video and I hope you are doing well at your home. In previous video, we discussed about various topics such as the study sources of modern period, primary sources and secondary sources, and transition from medieval age to modern age, and the feudalism and Renaissance and spread of Renaissance. They were also very important topic we discussed. But in this video we have to discuss about the main characteristics or features of Renaissance and impact of Renaissance on various sectors. Okay, let's start.
Today's first topic is characteristics of Renaissance and the subtopic humanism. Humanism was an important feature of Renaissance. Humanism, a system of value and belief that is based on the idea that people are basically good and that problems can be solved using reason instead of religion. Humanism emphasized on nature, achievement, human ability, capability, and willpower. Power, uh, Power and mystery of divinity and superstition were denied, and humanists emphasized the study of classics. Classics mean high quality things and believed in man. Is the term we can say that human has a lot of power, quality, ability, capability, knowledge, and intellect, which is provided by God. With the help of these qualities, he can achieve everything in the world. And this belief was slightly different from the ideas of medieval period, where religion was central to the human existence. Humanism was the main source of inspiration for all cultural changes, and its impact appeared various sectors such as literature, history, painting, sculpture, political ideas. And some of famous humanists and thinker of this period you can see. First, Francisco Petrarca, Giovanni Boccaccio, and Pico della Mirandola. And next point is rationalism. During the Renaissance, a new approach began to emerge. A belief that your life should be based on reason and logic rather than emotions and religion belief. And during this age, people started to question and exploring the ideas of logic, meaning that every question can be answered with a scientific and reasonable explanation. And this led to an important branch of philosophy called rationalism. In medieval period, everything was blindly accepted, but during the Renaissance, question began to ask with logic, and rationalism became the basis of modern thinking, and the scholars who belonged to this age were called rationalists. And the next point is scientific spirit. Scientific spirit is also considered the important feature of Renaissance. Scientific spirit, scientific method, and scientific approaches. These are the same term. The Renaissance scholars acquired knowledge through scientific approach, and this knowledge was also based on the scientific approach. And scientific approach is a method or systematic process of investigation in which a problem is first identified and then that problem is attempted to be solved by various methods of various process of observation and experiments, and then problem is concluded. And now next point is the spirit of inquiry. Renaissance scholars wanted that any answers to be found that should be based on scientific approach. And this thing gave rise to a spirit of inquiry. And this spirit of inquiry played a leading role to explore and discover knowledge. And next main topic is impact of Renaissance. As we studied that scientific developments, exploration of new world, development of art and architecture were the main features of Renaissance. And now let's know that how did impact the Renaissance in various sectors of modern Europe. And students, we will study about that topic one by one point. First point is painting. If we talk about the painting, so the paintings that were made in medieval Europe, which were mainly in the form of scenes or portrait and were inspired by religious and divine ideas, and due to which their art were looked unrealistic. While during the Renaissance, the artists made many paintings which were inspired by the spirit of humanism, and their paintings were natural and realistic, and their arts looked like imitation of life. There were three greatest artists of that period: Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. And among these great artists, Leonardo da Vinci is also considered the greatest and versatile artist. He was an Italian painter, and he was not only painter but he was engineer, architect, musician, inventor, mathematician, anatomist, philosopher, and scientist also. But he is best known for his two paintings, The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. You can see the picture. The Last Supper is a mural painting and it is one of the Western world's most recognizable painting. And now it housed in convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie, Milan in Italy. And Mona Lisa, the Mona Lisa is the half-length portrait and it is considered of the archetypal of masterpiece of the Italian Renaissance and has been described as the best known, the most visited, the most written about, the most sung about, the most parodied work of the art in the world. And now it housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris. And next painter, Michelangelo. Michelangelo was also versatile personality. He was an Italian painter, sculptor, architect and poet. And he had also great arts. And some of his masterpieces are present on the ceiling of Sistine Chapel. Chapel is the official residence of the Pope in Vatican City. And the statue of Pieta, Moses and David, and he was the main architect of St. Peter Basilica. And you can see the picture of Pieta, Moses and David. The Pieta is the work of Renaissance sculpture and it housed in St. Peter Basilica, Vatican City. Moses. Moses is one of the best sculpture during Renaissance and now it housed in the Church of San Pietro, Vincoli, Rome. And David. David is the masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture and created in marble and now it housed in Galleria dell'Accademia, Florence, Italy. Now next point is literature. During Renaissance, many changes were appeared in the sector of literature. The printing press was also invented due to the advancement of literature. The spirit of inquiry led to a demand for books, and then John Gutenberg brought revolutionary changes in the learning with the invention of printing press. And as the result, a large number of people got chance to read books and learn many things in various sectors. Many European languages emerged in the Renaissance period. Italian, Spanish, French, German, and English were considered the language of common people. And these languages also used in literature. History and literature were studied closely and depth because these subjects related to human being and their life. And in this period, the Divine Comedy, which is the long Italian narrative poem by Dante, and it is one of the greatest work of the world literature. And it was written in Tuscan, modern European language, and this language late became the Italian language, and other significant writers of this age were Petrarch, Machiavelli, Shakespeare, and students you can see the picture. The Divine Comedy was written by Dante and the Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon was an English philosopher and statesman who served as Attorney General of England and his famous works of Novum Organum and New Atlantis. And the Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli is also considered the one of the greatest writer of the world. In Machiavelli's two important works are Discourses on Living, which was written in 1531 CE, and second one The Prince, which was written in 1532 CE, of which were published after his death. And Shakespeare, as we all know about the William Shakespeare. The William Shakespeare is the best British writer of all time, and his many works are about life, love, death, revenge, grief, murder, magic, and mystery. He wrote the blockbuster plays of his day, such as Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and Hamlet. And the William Shakespeare is the greatest writer in the English language and world's greatest dramatist. And he is often called the England's national poet and bard of Avon. And next point is science and technology. Many important discoveries and inventions were occurred during the Renaissance. Okay, let's know about these discoveries and progress and inventions one by one. Copernicus, we all the familiar from this name. He was an astronomer who proved that Earth rotated on its axis and revolved around the sun. He challenged the traditional thought and Christian Catholic Church, which taught that the Earth was at the center of universe. And later, Galileo confirmed his theory by inventing a telescope. William Harvey. William Harvey is also a well-known name in the field of science, and he discovered the system of circulation of blood from heart to other parts of body. And Kepler also well-known person and was basically from German, and he explained that the planets moved around the sun. And Isaac Newton carried forward the assumption of Kepler, and he proved that all celestial bodies moved according to the law of gravitation. And gradually, the microscope, telescope, thermometer, and marine compass were also invented. And you can see the picture. The first microscope was invented by Zacharias Janssen and his father, and they both were belonged from Holland. And you can see the picture of first microscope. And then it is said that the telescope was invented by Galileo, but it is not correct. The first telescope was invented by Hans Lippershey. The telescope was first patented in 1608 Dutch eyeglass maker Hans Lippershey, and widely credited as the first person to patent a telescope, and later Galileo improved it. And thermometer. The Italian physician Santorio is commonly credited with the invention of first thermometer, and the more modern thermometer was invented by Daniel Fahrenheit in 1709. And next is magnetic compass. Magnetic compass was first invented as a device for divination as early as Chinese Han and Tang dynasty. And then mariner compass proved to be useful to navigate the sea and discover the new areas around the world. And next point is geographical discoveries. The geographical discovery is considered one of the greatest discovery of the world, because due to this the entire world connected with each other. Before the opening of the sea route, the trade relation between East and Europe was dominated Arab, by Arab traders. Until about the 15th century CE, the trade route between East and Europe was very difficult and long. And the trading goods were sent from east to west by Arabs to Egypt through Red Sea. And these Arab traders bought these goods from East, especially India, and sold it to Italian merchant. And this Italian merchant sold these goods across Europe and other European states. Means the Italian merchant and Arab became middlemen and as well as extremely rich due to their monopoly of selling these goods, and due to which the European traders disappointed because they were not getting sufficient profit. So the European sellers and geographers were looking for new sea route to make the direct trade relation with East. In mid 15th century, the Ottoman Turks captured a small part of Asia, and in this way the Ottoman Turks were biggest challenge in the sea route of connecting Asia to Europe. They attacked and plundered European ships and captured the main seaport of Mediterranean Sea and imposed heavy taxes on goods that passed through their land. And as the result, this was much needed to search an alternative trade route, and European rulers encouraged sailors to explore new sea routes. The ships, crew, and money were given by rich merchants and rulers, and these European sailors to stepped forward to their goal. And when we talk about the great explorer of the world who attempted first time to find the sea route, so firstly, Portuguese name comes first. The Portugal was the first European country to discover a new sea route to India and Far East. Far East means the eastern part of Asia such as China, Japan and Korea. And now we know about the various navigator of the Portugal. The Prince Henry, the navigator, was the first person who efforts to explore the unknown region systematically, and he financed expedition and sent sailors to explore the west coast of Africa. And next, Bartholomew Diaz. It is the unique name. Bartholomew Diaz was great explorer, and he explored the southern tip of Africa, and present we know it as the Cape of Good Hope. And next one, Vasco da Gama. It is the well-known person in India, and we all know about the Vasco da Gama. He was Portuguese sailor, and he also followed the same route of Bartholomew Diaz and reached the Cape of Good Hope and moved forward the same path and reached India Calicut in 1498 CE. And finally, to open the trade route between India and Europe, credit goes to Vasco da Gama, which proved to be extremely lucrative. Now, next topic is discovery of America. When we talk about the discovery of America, then a person, Christopher Columbus, automatically comes in our mind. Christopher Columbus belonged to Italy and living in Spain. And students, it is very interesting story about the discovery of America. In fact, Christopher Columbus set out to find a route to India. He began his journey with his three ships, Santa Maria, Pinta and Nina, and 90 navigators. So he decided to sail westwards across the Atlantic Ocean. But his calculation of distance from Europe to Asia was wrong. So by mistake he reached on an island which blocked the westwards movement to the east. And this new land was named the West Indies. In this way, he explored other island of America, and also it is said that also that he didn't know that the island was explored by him. They were not Indian but the American. And the next is it Ferdinand Magellan. Ferdinand Magellan was a Portuguese explorer who organized the Spanish expedition to the East India from 1519 to 1522 CE. He was the first person in history who attempted to circumnavigate the earth. He started his voyage on 15 September 1519 and he blessed with the blessings of Spanish King Charles I. He set out with a fleet of 5 fully supplied ships which sailed firstly to fleet moved towards Brazil and then down coast of South America to Patagonia, and by October in 1520 Magellan with his team entered in the Strait of Magellan and Spanish crew reached the Spice Island in 1521 C and one of the surviving ships eventually home via the Indian Ocean, completing the first circuit globe.
Students, I hope you have understood very well. Okay, let's meet in another video with some interesting topic. Okay, bye and be safe at your home.